So now on BBC Two, how's your team doing? Here's Mark Chapman with today's final score.
Good afternoon, welcome to Final Score. Plenty of goals to tell you about in the company of a couple of former strikers worth 50 million in anybody's book. Garth, Crooks and Mark Bright. Lira, obviously. Right then, let's take a look at all the scores in the Premier League this afternoon. The goals have been flying in. John Pansill's third own goal of the season put Aston Villa ahead against Fulham. Andrew Johnson equalised. However, Kyle Walker has just restored Villa's lead. Everton 2, Blackpool 3. The Seaside is twice hit back from a goal down before taking the lead through Charlie Adam. Lewis Saha had earlier netted a brace for the home side. Birthday boy Carlos Tevez has hit a first-half hat-trick for Manchester City against West Brom at Eastlands. It's Newcastle 1, Arsenal 4. Arsenal 4 up inside 26 minutes. Robin van Persie got 2. They've since had Abu Diaby sent off following a clash with none other than Joey Barton. Barton has scored from the penalty spot. The lunchtime kickoff was Stoke 3, Sunderland 2. An injury-time strike from Robert Huth gave the home side a controversial victory. Replay suggested that their first 2 goals should have been disallowed. Daniel Sturridge has equalised for Bolton at Spurs. Rafael van der Vaart put Spurs ahead with a penalty, but the Dutchman missed a twice-taken second spot kick. And Wigan are on course to climb out of the relegation zone. They lead Blackburn Rovers 4-2, thanks largely to a James McCarthy brace. There is an awful lot to tell you about during Final Score here on BBC Two. We start at St James's Park. Steve Sutton's been watching Newcastle-Arsenal.
It's Newcastle 1, Arsenal 4, Mark. A footballing exhibition, a lesson for Newcastle from Arsenal in the first half. 1 up inside the first minute through Theo Walcott. Giroud had made it 2 within 3 minutes, and then Van Persie added 2 more. 4-0 at half-time. The contest evened up early in the second half when Abu Diaby was straight red carded. He got his hand round the back of Joey Barton's neck, took exception to a tackle from Barton and pushed him to the ground. Then Koscielny dropped, bent in the penalty area. Referee, no hesitation, pointing to the spot, and Barton sent the keeper the wrong way. The keeper then getting a yellow card from Arsenal for not giving the ball back when Barton wanted to get on with it quickly. It's Newcastle 1, Arsenal 4.
Gary Megson now in charge of Sheffield Wednesday. MK Dons are down to 10 men at Hillsborough. Neil Mellor has given the home side some hope. It's 2-1 to MK Dons. Julian Gray's got 2 this afternoon. Bottom of League One, Walsall 3 up on Carlisle. Leaders Brighton in that division were a goal down at Bristol Rovers. They've turned it round. They are now 3-1 up. Back to the Premier League. Damian Johnson at Manchester City, West Brom.
Yeah, first half hat-trick from Carlos Tevez, including 2 from the penalty spot, have set City on course for victory. A nice way for the City captain to celebrate his 27th birthday. All this as £27 million signing Edin Dzeko started on the subs bench. He's on now, the Bosnian. Tevez also hit the post in that first half, and Kolarov rattled the bar. West Brom, to their credit, have stuck at it and had the better of the second half. But Tevez is hat-trick, a fitting tribute really to City striker Neil Young, who died this week and is being warmly remembered today. City 3, West Brom 0.
Damien, thank you. The 6th goal of the afternoon has gone in at Goodison. Sit back, lads. This will be a long report from Richard Askham.
It will indeed, Chappers. Yes, Louis Saha with his hat-trick, nodding in from a corner. Jack Rodwell managed to get a touch on it. Saha nodded the ball home, and that is how this game has gone. It has been end-to-end stuff at times today. Blackpool looked as though they didn't have any answers, but they came back after Everton went 2-1 up with Louis Saha's first 2 goals either side of an Alex Baptiste poking. Blackpool then, through their loan signings, Jason Puncheon, first of all, he scored, combining with James Beattie, and then DJ Campbell striking the bar and Charlie Adam arriving to nod home. They took the lead, but Everton now have equalised. The crowd are up for it. Fellaini, who's been excellent all game, a powerhouse in midfield for Everton. He is driving them on. Tim Cahill is on off the bench, along with Jermaine Beckford. Everton now in the ascendancy in a game that has had everything. It's Everton 3, Blackpool 3.
Fulham. 5 in 3 for Lewis Zaha this afternoon. Matty Fry at second of the afternoon means Hull are now 3-1 up on Scunthorpe. That from the penalty spot, and there's been another goal at Villa Park, a Fulham back level. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, they are. Danny Murphy took the corner. It was a good one too, and Clint Dempsey was first to it, beating his American compatriot Brad Friedel to the ball and turning a header home. That's after Villa had put themselves in front, the Villa fans imploring their team to push on. Right back Kyle Walker heeded that call, stepped up over halfway, strode forward, struck the ball low. Bent stepped over it, distracted Schwarzer, into the corner it flew, but that was history just moments ago. Dempsey levelled it again. It's 2-2.
Newcastle were 4 down in 26 minutes to Arsenal. Arsenal now down to 10 men. Diaby sent off, and the comeback is on. Steve Sutton.
Well, what an amazing game, Mark. It's Newcastle 2, Arsenal 4. Leon Best with the second goal. He went up for a header, it bounced down to his feet, and he knocked it into the far corner of the net. What a difference that sending off has made. This game turning round on its head. You still fancy Arsenal to complete the job, but what a finish we've got in store. Newcastle 2, Arsenal 4.
And that's not the end of all the goals, because James Mason has witnessed 6 this afternoon at Wigan.
Exactly, Mark. I never expected that when I left the house this morning. But as you say, it's Wigan 4, Blackburn 2. So you'll have to bear with me for the 6 goals. It's been a fantastic game as Wigan go through on goal again. There could be literally a goal every second at the moment, Mark. Let me start from the very beginning. It's been a fantastic game in the pouring rain as well, and Wigan are on course for their first win in 2011. Blackburn took the lead through Jason Roberts in the first half, but James McCarthy drew the sides level before half-time, converting from an acute angle. Hugo Rodallega then put Wigan 2-1 up before McCarthy produced the moment of the game, juggling the ball in the area before volleying past Paul Robinson. Chris Samba powered in a header for Blackburn to make it exciting at 3-2 for a while, but a Ben Watson penalty restored Wigan's 2-goal lead, and you get the impression the scoring isn't over yet. It's Wigan 4, Blackburn 2.
6 at the DW Stadium, 7 at Goodison. Richard Askham.
I tell you what, the noise levels have gone ballistic here, chappers. Jermaine Beckford, the goal scorer for Everton, a classic striker's goal, playing on the shoulder. His defender couldn't handle him, and he poked the ball past Paul Rachubka and into the net. Rachubka somehow picked up an injury as well, I just noticed. But more importantly, it is Everton 4, Blackpool 3.
A bit lucky.
A great finish by Jermaine Beckford. Paul Rachubka is covered in blood at the moment. So you've got 7 goals at Goodison, 6 at Newcastle, 6 at Wigan. There's 4 at Villa Park. There's 3 at Manchester City. Only 2 at White Hart Lane, but still plenty to tell us about. Roger Johnson.
Yeah, I don't feel too hard done to, you know, Mark. It's 1-1 here between Spurs and Bolton. Pulsating stuff. Tottenham won 2 first-half penalties. They scored the first. A fine finish from Van der Vaart from 12 yards. A carbon copy for the second, but it had to be retaken, and Van der Vaart tried to repeat the trick for a third time, but missed, so it was 1-0. Bolton should have had one of their own, but Cahill, replays suggest wrongly, was booked for diving. Bolton, though, did draw level through Daniel Sturridge, a sweeping finish after a good run by Mark Davis, and he's just tried to do a carbon copy of that moments ago. Both sides have hit the woodwork, and with just under a quarter of an hour to play, you sense that this one could go either way. Both sides have used 3 substitutes for Tottenham, 2 for Bolton. I'm hesitating because Tottenham are marauding forward again now, looking to try and get their noses in front, but at the moment it's Tottenham 1, Bolton 1.
Rochdale, unbeaten in 7, have taken the lead at Swindon. Craig Dawson with that. The League One leaders, Brighton, 4-1 up on Bristol Rovers. Glenn Murray with that. Huddersfield are leading 3-0 at St James's Park. And a penalty at the DW, James Mason.
Yeah, unbelievable, Mark. It's a penalty to Blackburn Rovers, and it will be David Dunn on as a substitute to take it. The pitch is completely covered in water, surface water, and plenty of mud. Dunn steps up now, and he's scored. He scored to the bottom left-hand corner of Al Habsi's goal in front of 4,500 Blackburn Rovers fans who think their team are still in this. There's 10 minutes to go, so they very much are. What a game. It's Wigan Athletic 4, Blackburn Rovers 3.
League Two leaders Chesterfield were 1 up at the BT Net Stadium against Aldershot, but Tim Sills has scored twice this afternoon, and now Dean Holds with Aldershot a 2-1 up, and Stevenage put in their cup defeat last week behind them, lead Accrington Stanley by 2-0. Laurie Wilson with that goal. The early game in the Premier League was Stoke against Sunderland. It finished 3-2.
Finish and make the final score. Stoke City 3, Sunderland 2.
Match of the day, 10:30 tonight, BBC One. I think it might need to be about 2.5 hours long, given everything that's gone on. 34 goals, according to my maths,
I've done
in
that,
7 games. Garth, watching one game, went to me, what's the score in this? What's the score in
I've lost
this
track.
one?
I've been doing the show a long time. I've never done a weekend like it.
No.
I mean, every game has been absolutely full-on, sensational. I'm going to have to watch Match of the Day tonight, make sense of it all.
Yeah, I mean, usually I think there's around about 20... Another goal.
Another goal.
Another goal.
I can see where it's gone in.
Everton.
So this is now 8 at Goodison Park. Richard Askham.
Yes, hello, Mark. It is 8 goals in this match. It's now Everton 5, Blackpool 3. Louis Saha with his 4th of the game. A lightning breakaway with Blackpool pushing on, understandably, to try and grab a goal. Fellaini, who's been excellent today, set Louis Saha racing down the left-hand side. Jermaine Beckford was in attendance in the centre of the box. It looked from here as though Saha was going to cross the ball to him, but he carried on going. The Blackpool defence couldn't catch him, and he poked the ball past Paul Rahubka and into the net. And it is now Everton 5, Blackpool 3.
I think Saha has got something like 4 goals or something this season, hadn't he, before they start this game?
He's got 6 in the last 3 now.
It is unbelievable, 4 in the game. I mean, just Blackpool go away from home, score 3 goals and give a great account of themselves. Some great saves, shots, some action, passing. The Baines cross and the Beckford goal. Baines crossed with his right foot, Beckford shot with his left foot. It was sensational. And there's just been some great games. It really has.
And this is all following Arsenal got off to a flyer at St James's, 4 inside the first 26 minutes.
Correct. It's 4-2 now. It's a fantastic game. There's been a sending off. Ibui's come up. Diaby got sent off, and that was a sort of a flashpoint with Barton. Nolan got involved. Ibui's just come on. He's been booked. You'd have thought 4-0 up. A player suddenly gets sent off and he erupts into another dimension because Newcastle start coming back at them. It's just been an incredible afternoon, chappers.
So we're at 35 in 7 games. Last November, we got 36 in one day, and that was the Premier League record. We're going to go back to St James's Park, where there is another penalty. Steve Sutton.
Yes, it's a second penalty to Newcastle. I think it was Williamson who was judged to have been brought down in the box near the byline. He went up for a header surrounded by a couple of Arsenal players. He went to ground, and just like in the first penalty incident when Joey Barton scored, yes, I'm just looking there, it did look as if it was Williamson going down, but Barton is lining up to take the second penalty. Remember, he scored the first one, which signalled Newcastle's astonishing fight back. He moves up, and it's into the top of the net. It's into the top of the net. Chesney got a hand to it, but he could only push it into the roof of the net. It's Newcastle 3, Arsenal 4. 7 minutes left. Who dare predict this one now?
Dean Smalley's second of the afternoon means Chesterfield are back on level terms with Aldershot. There's 2 for Aaron McLean this afternoon and 2 for Matty Fry at Hull, 4-1 up at Scunthorpe. We'll go to Turf Moor in a minute to find out about Jay Rodriguez's goal that's put Burnley 2-1 up on Norwich, and Ipswich going for 3 successive league wins. They never did that under Roy Keane. A 3 up on Sheffield United. 17-year-old Connor Wickham 3 minutes from time. Newcastle fans were walking out at St James's Park after 15 minutes.
We said, you know, I think it was something like 10 or 12 minutes. We have never seen fans walk out in a home game so early. And you looked at Alan Pardew and he just looked shell-shocked. Obviously, at half-time, the big team talk, the rally cry goes out from the manager, sending off for the second half. It's changed everything. No, you wouldn't put it past them getting a draw. But
there's 7 minutes left, according to that clock in the corner that we can see on the screen. Garth, we haven't really touched on Spurs, but Spurs could have been 2-0 up on Bolton, and Rafael van der Vaart was made to take a penalty twice. A second time.
It was a second penalty.
For encroaching.
Encroachment. I felt at the time it was a bit harsh because, you know, you've got about 4 or 5 players from both sides going into the box. He'd scored the goal, let it go on. He brings him back. The same players come in again and encroach. He misses it and waves play on. It's been a cracking game. Sturridge, who I think is going to be quite an important addition to Bolton. He gets a goal. Gomez mishandles it. It's a bad goal.
Terrible.
Bad goal. Spurs are made to pay. but every game has been a cracker.
Anthony Sweeney's 6th league goal of the season has put Hartlepool a goal up on Colchester. Sheffield Wednesday 2, MK Dons 2. Clinton Morrison has brought Gary Megson's side back from 2 down to 2 all. MK Dons down to 10 men. Kilban has given Huddersfield their 4th at St James's Park. Motherwell are leading Stranraer 2-0 in the Scottish Cup. Will Hoskins 2nd of the afternoon for Bristol Rovers. It's Bristol Rovers 2, Brighton 4. And ages ago, it feels like now, I told you about Burnley's 2nd goal against Norwich. Harry Gratian has the details.
The game this is, Mark, as well. Yes, Jay Rodriguez scoring. It was a far post cross and the Norwich goalkeeper let it go through his legs. It was a well-hit shot, I have to say. Great match this, but Norwich haven't lost since 2011, you know, but they're on their way to a defeat now. Burnley lead 2-1.
Leyton Orient equalised against second-place Bournemouth in League One. 1-1 there. Nottingham Forest in the Championship, as it stands, going second this evening. Andrew James.
Yes, and they're looking at a 6th consecutive win in the Championship as well, Mark. They got the goal right at the start of the game. Marcus Tudgay inside the first couple of minutes of the match. Since then, it's been a great advert for the Championship. Pacey football, end-to-end, but Watford simply haven't had an answer to that opening goal from Tudgay. For Forest. Forest 1, Watford 0.
Adam Lafondra's 18th league goal, 19th overall this season, means that Rotherham lead Crewe by 2-1 at the Don Valley Stadium. Leeds are going 5th this evening in the Championship as it stands. Naz Premji.
Yes, Leeds United 1, Coventry City 0. David Somers, Chapman separating these two sides. Coventry, to be fair, are pushing. They've had a few corners. Clive Pat's just headed over as well. And Lukas Lutkiewicz has gone very, very close. But in truth, Leeds have been dominant, and if they don't get all 3 points in this game, it would be a travesty. Leeds United 1, Coventry City 0.
Got to go back to St James's Park, haven't we? What's happening, Steve Sutton?
Well, the atmosphere's electric now, Mark. It's still Newcastle 3, Arsenal 4, but I have to say Newcastle have really got under Arsenal's skin now, and if anybody's going to score now, it's going to be Newcastle. They have a free kick. Joey Barton, who's got 2 of the 2 penalties in Newcastle's astonishing fight back, ready to take it. The ball into the box, but it's cleared, and that's a heck of a shot, and it's in the net. Sheikh Tiote from 25 yards on the volley into the back of the net. Would you believe it? What an amazing fight back. Newcastle 4, Arsenal 4.
I'll tell you something, I do not know what the odds of a 4-0 comeback at half-time would be, especially against the team who was 2nd in the Premier League, Arsenal. I mean, it just looked like plain sailing. Arsene Wenger cannot believe it. Tiote's just hit a screamer.
It's a screamer, by the way.
Never mind the 4-0 comeback. That finish would be worthy of winning any game in any match in the world.
The ball is sort of floated in from a free kick. Arsenal win the header, put it back outside the box, and Tiote comes in and hits a screamer from 25, 30 yards. It's unbelievable.
I saw this guy get sent off the other day in Stevenage. Yeah, the other day, and I thought, what a terrible, terrible decision. But
it's his day today.
Fantastic, yeah.
37 goals now in the Premier League today. That is a record in one day. Match of the day, 10:30 BBC One, and we have one more game to go today. Wolves against Manchester United, the 5:30 kickoff. Elliot Benyon, signed from Torquay, has scored for Swindon. Swindon 1, Rochdale 1. Accrington Stanley have got one back against Stevenage. And Kyle Norton on loan from Spurs means it's Leicester 4, Barnsley 1 on Sven-Göran Eriksson's 63rd birthday. Newcastle have pulled it back at St James's. Can Blackburn at Wigan? James Mason.
Who knows, Mark? We've now got 5 minutes of time added on, and we've played about 30 seconds of those 5 minutes. Blackburn pushing everybody forward. Even Paul Robinson is taking the free kicks deep into his own half. Blackburn, to their credit, are really going for this, but the Wigan fans are hoping and praying that they can hold on to this, which would be their first win of 2011, which I keep reiterating because it would be a huge win. It would lift them out of the bottom 3. We've got about 4 minutes to go of time added on. It's Wigan Athletic 4, Blackburn Rovers 3.
Alan Pardew's just bringing Danny Guthrie on at St James's Park. He's giving him some instructions. Your guess is as good as mine. What you tell a substitute when you bring him on in that situation.
Just shoot.
Back to White Hart Lane. Harry isn't going to be happy, is he, Roger Johnson? If Spurs, I get the 3 points here.
He's not. We're into 4 minutes of added time. Spurs pushing, but so too Bolton. And I have to tell you, Mark, I'm not decrying this game in any way because it has been a really good 1-1 draw so far. But the biggest cheer of the afternoon was when Newcastle 4, Arsenal 4 just flashed up on the big screen here, and Tottenham fans now urging their team, seeing the opportunity perhaps to close the gap on their North London rivals at the top of the table, sense the chance to maybe find a winner here. It's still 1-1, and we're in the third of the 4 minutes of added time as Cranshaw unleashes a shot, and Nico Cranshaw has left it in. Brilliant goal from Cranshaw, left-footed from the edge of the penalty area. He just worked the angle for himself, the little chink of light to make the shot, and Cranshaw has stolen the points for Tottenham. And this is the biggest cheer of the afternoon, because it's Tottenham 2, Bolton 1.
Short edits.
That's very unprofessional. One of our cameramen jumping around over there.
I know, yeah.
I won't be on that camera for a while, I can tell you.
Everybody's got a team. Everybody's got a team.
What a finish.
Great finish.
It's a great finish by Cranshaw, but if you're Owen Coyle, you're going to be a bit disappointed, because with 4 minutes to go, you defend that cage as though your life depends upon it. And there were chances for Zach Knight to get his foot in and to block that. He doesn't do it. Spurs actually get the prize now.
But it was a decent... You've got to give him
credit. It's a great strike.
For
It's a great strike. But you've got to defend that cage.
You sound disappointed.
Is that a late winner for Spurs? If it is, are Villa and Fulham going for a late winner at Villa Park? Ivan Gaskell.
I'm sure they'd love to have done, but he's just blown the whistle, so no is the answer. Aston Villa 2, Fulham 2 is how it's finished. Let me run you through the goals. Villa went and scored first, though Pansil, the Fulham defender, scored it for them, stooping low to turn a header past his own keeper on 13. Andy Johnson scored and showed the poacher's instinct just after the break to make it one apiece. The natives began to get restless, so Kyle Walker decided to stroll forward and unleash a low shot that whistled past Schwarzer. 2-1 Villa, that with 19 to go. Then Clint Dempsey rescued a point for Fulham. Neither side really did enough to win it, so the score is just about right. 2-2.
The reason you got my ugly mug on screen for slightly longer than you should have done before we went to Ivan Gaskell was because Newcastle nearly got a fifth, Steve Sutton.
Yes, they did. A brilliant strike from Kevin Nolan from just outside the box, flashing wide of the post. The fourth official signalled and Niall Ranger's on his run through, but no, he's been stopped by the Arsenal defence. Ranger on as a second half substitute, adding a much needed pace to the Newcastle attack. Just stopped in time by Arsenal's defence. I'll tell you what, you can't take your eyes off this for a second. Newcastle 4, Arsenal 4.
Final whistle has gone at the City of Manchester Stadium
today, and a real tonic ahead of the Manchester derby next weekend. 3-0 City.
This could be the greatest afternoon we've had of Premier League football, and one of the big games of the afternoon was at Goodison. Richard Askham.
It certainly was. I tell you what, I could do with 2 notebooks for this one, chappers. 8 goals doesn't begin to tell the story. Louis Saha struck twice either side of an Alex Baptiste goal before the game exploded. Blackpool came storming back through Jason Punchin and skipper Charlie Adam, and Everton looked shell-shocked at that stage. But driven on by the excellent Marouane Fellaini, the home side showed excellent resilience. Saha grabbed his hat-trick with a near-post header before Jermaine Beckford showed the striker's instinct he's noted for to beat his man to a dink ball and beat Paul Rahubka in the Blackpool goal. Then with the Seasiders pushing, Everton and Saha broke away, kept going and steered the ball home to seal the victory. A key win for the Blues. Blackpool showed once again there is a flip side to their attack-first philosophy, but I tell you what, it makes for great entertainment. Everton 5, Blackpool 3.
The ball has been in the net again at St James's Park, but, Steve Sutton, it's been disallowed.
Yes, it looked for a second as if Robin van Persie had got his hat-trick and sealed this astonishing game. It was a great finish, I have to say, but the linesman's flag on the opposite side of the ground to us was already raised. It's still 4-4, and there's still, couple of minutes left.
Go on.
That was fractions.
Yeah.
Fractions. Van Persie, I personally think he's been robbed of his hat-trick. There was no daylight between him and the defender. The linesman takes a considered view. I think he's wrong, and I think he might have robbed Arsenal.
What a finish.
It was a great finish.
It'd be fascinating to find out what Arsene Wenger makes this after the game. They've had that disallowed for offside, they're down to 10 men, and they've had 2 penalties given against them.
You'd have to say the decision for Robin van Persie offside is a hand. That's the furthest part of his body forward beyond the defender. The assistant sticks his flag up straight away. Robin van Persie lobs the goalkeeper. It was a fantastic finish, but unfortunately,
And here come Newcastle.
Newcastle Australia.
Still 4-4 at St James's Park. The clock in the corner of the ground says 90 minutes full time, 90 minutes have been played. They're into injury time at St James's Park. It's all over, though, at White Hart Lane. Roger Johnson.
A worst run for 15 years. They'll feel hard done to, though. Tottenham winning thanks to that Cranshaw cracker by 2-1.
2 penalties, a red card, 8 goals. Confronted by Arsene Wenger. James Mason can give us all the full-time details from Wigan Blackburn.
Yes, Mark. Wigan 4, Blackburn Rovers 3 in the pouring rain on a cabbage patch of a pitch. This truly was a feast of football in which Wigan held on for a vital 3 points. Blackburn's Jason Roberts opened the scoring midway through the first half before James McCarthy drew things level with his first of the game. Hugo Rodiega put Wigan ahead after racing through for his 7th of the season. Then McCarthy scored a goal of memorable brilliance, volleying in from inside the area to make it 3-1. But back came Blackburn, Chris Samba powering in a header to add to the drama. But a Ben Watson penalty restored Wigan's 2-goal lead before Blackburn stormed forward again with a David Dunn penalty, bringing it to 4-3 for a grandstand finish. But Wigan held on in what was a remarkable game. It ended Wigan 4, Blackburn Rovers 3.
A remarkable game on a remarkable day of football into the Championship. Harry Gratian has watched Eddie Howe's Burnley beat Norwich by 2-1.
Well, I have to say, this has been a great match as well. Marnie's low 15-yard shot on 33, giving Burnley a deserved first-half lead. Norwich showed very little at all in that first 45 minutes. And then we had an absolutely fantastic equaliser from Grant Holt. Don't know how he managed to get his leg to the shot when the cross came over. That made it 1-1. It looked at this stage as if Norwich would actually go on to win this game, but Burnley got the winner from Rodriguez. And I have to say, on the balance of 90 minutes, they just about deserved it. Norwich's first defeat of 2011.
And Nottingham Forest have gone second in the Championship this evening. Andrew James can tell us why.
Yes, they've cashed in on Norwich's misfortune. The goal right at the start of the game from Marcus Tudgay, setting the tone really for Forest. Watford had no answer. Pacey football from both sides. Both teams great on the break, but Watford couldn't find a threat in front of goal. And although there was chances for both to score, it's Forest who take the points. 6 consecutive wins, and they move into second place in the Championship.
He could go second tomorrow. They play Cardiff, and you'll be able to see that live on BBC One. Match of the day is at 10:30 tonight on BBC One, followed by the Football League show. If you're going out, I suggest you tape them. Let's get the classified football results with Tim Gudgin.
Yeah, what a day it's been as we lead off now with the Barclays Premier League. Aston Villa 2, Fulham 2. Everton 5, Blackpool 3. Manchester City 3, West Bromwich Albion 0. Newcastle United 4, Arsenal 4. Stoke City 3, Sunderland 2. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Bolton Wanderers 1. Wigan Athletic 4, Blackburn Rovers 3. Wolverhampton Wanderers and Man United kick off at 5:30. In the Empire Championship, Burnley 2, Norwich City 1. Crystal Palace 1, Middlesbrough 0. Ipswich Town 3, Sheffield United 0. Leeds United 1, Coventry City 0. Leicester City 4, Barnsley 1. Millwall 1, Doncaster Rovers 0. Nottingham Forest 1, Watford 0. Portsmouth 1, Derby County 1. Preston North End 0, Bristol City 4. And Scunthorpe United 1, Hull City 5. In League One, AFC Bournemouth 1, Leyton Orient 1. Brentford 2, Plymouth Argyle 0. Bristol Rovers 2, Brighton Hove Albion 4. Carlisle United 1, Walsall 3. Exeter City 1, Huddersfield Town 4. Hartlepool United 1, Colchester United 0. Latest score, Oldham Athletic 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 1. Peterborough United and Southampton kick off in about a quarter of an hour. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Milton Keynes Dons 2. Swindon Town 1, Rochdale 1. Tranmere Rovers match with Notts County abandoned because of a waterlogged pitch with Notts County 1 up. Yeovil Town 0, Charlton Athletic 1. In League 2, Berries match with Burton Albion postponed. Chesterfield 2, Aldershot Town 2. Gillingham 0, Oxford United 0. Hereford United 0, Lincoln City 1. Macclesfield Town and Bradford City a postponed match. Morecambe 1, Cheltenham Town 1. Northampton Town 0, Barnet 0. Rotherham United 3, Crewe Alexandra 1. Southend United 0, Shrewsbury Town 2. Stevenage 2, Accrington Stanley 2. Torquay United 2, Stockport County 0. And Wycombe Wanderers 1, Port Vale 1. In the Blue Square Premier, AFC Wimbledon 1, Fleetwood Town 0. And Altrincham and Southport's match postponed. Barrow 0, Wrexham 1. Cambridge United 0, Ruston and Diamonds 2. Forest Green Rovers 1, Hayes and Yedding United 0. Kidderminster 1, Bath City 0. Tamworth 0, Histon 1. In the Scottish Cup, 5th round, Ayr United 1, St Mirren 2. Buckie Thistle 0, Brechin City 2. Hamilton Academical 1, Dundee United 3. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 5, Greenock Morton 1. St Johnson's match with Partick Thistle postponed. And Stranraer 0, Motherwell 2. In the Iron Scottish Division 1, Queen of the South 1, Dundee 2. Ross County 1, Cowdenbeath 1. Stirling Albion 1, Wraith Rovers 3. In Scottish Div 2, Airdrie United 1, Peterhead 0. Alloa Athletic 2, Dumbarton 3. Stenhousemuir 0, Forfar Athletic 1. And Scottish Div 3, Arbroath 3, Albion Rovers 0. Clyde 0, Annan Athletic 2. Elgin City 1, Montrose 0. And Queen's Park 2, East Stirlingshire 0. In the Welsh Premier, Airbus UK Broughton 1, Ballartown 2. In the Carling Premiership, Cliftonville 2, Ballymena United 2. Donegal Celtic 0, Portadown 2. Dungannon Swifts 0, Linfield 4. Glentoran 2, Glenavon 1. And Newry City 2, Crusaders 3.
One late kick-off, Oldham 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 1 at Boundary Park. Let's see what all those results have done to the tables. The incredible comeback at Newcastle means Arsenal are 4 points adrift of Premier League leaders Manchester United. That gap could become 7 if United win at Wolves in the tea-time kick-off. Manchester City now just a point behind Arsenal after beating West Brom, although they have played a game more. Nico Cranchow's late strike means Spurs now level on points with 4th place Chelsea. Nothing short of a victory this evening will lift Wolves off the foot of the table. Wigan's win against Blackburn lifts them out of the relegation zone. Birmingham have dropped into the bottom 3. Everton's win lifts them towards mid-table. But Blackpool and West Brom continue to slip. At the top of the Championship, Nottingham Forest now the nearest challengers to QPR, who won last night. Forest up 2 places with Norwich losing and Swansea playing Cardiff tomorrow. Leeds are up to 5th. At the bottom, there's no change in the bottom 3 as Preston, Scunthorpe and Sheffield United all suffered heavy defeats. Palace won and now have a 4-point cushion above the relegation zone. At the top of League One, South Coast clubs Brighton and Bournemouth continue to set the pace. Huddersfield remain 3rd. Southampton play Peterborough this evening, while Charlton are up 3 places to 5th. At the bottom, Dagenham and Redbridge prop up the table for the first time since October. Previous incumbents Walsall won to move above Dagenham and Bristol Rovers. The match between Tranmere and Notts County was abandoned. At the top, Chesterfield and Wycombe both drew, allowing Rotherham to make a dent in the gap to the top 2. Victory for Shrewsbury takes them above Port Vale and Bury. None of the bottom 9 sides won today. Stockport lost while Burton's fixture was postponed, as was the meeting between Macclesfield and Bradford. Barnet were the only club in the bottom 6 to earn a point. And at the top of the Blue Square Premier, there are only 6 fixtures today due to the involvement of some clubs in the FA Trophy. AFC Wimbledon extended their lead at the top to 4 points, although they have played 3 games more. And Histon are off the bottom at the expense of Eastbourne Borough, who didn't play. There were defeats for Hayes and Yeading and Barrow. Oh, my word. What a day of Premier League football. Here are the headlines. At first, Nico Cranchar nets 4 times for the Toffees in a Goodison Park thriller, which featured 6 second-half goals. That's Hugo Rodiega celebrating Wigan's 4-3 win over Blackburn. James McCarthy got Fulham twice hit back from behind at Villa Park, with Clint Dempsey equalising 12 minutes from time. You can get all of today's Premier League action, all those goals, 10:30 this evening, BBC One, repeated 7:35 tomorrow morning. The Football League show follows at 11:50. Tomorrow you've got Swansea against Cardiff live on BBC One in the Championship. Fernando Torres, will he make his debut for Chelsea against Liverpool? Find out Match of the Day 2 with Colin at 10 o'clock on BBC 2. And then the Super Bowl live from 5 to 11 on BBC One. It's the Steelers against the Packers. Wow, what a day of Premier League football. We will start at St James's Park. Steve Wilson is waiting to talk to us. Have you got your breath back?
Only just. Extraordinary, Dad. I don't think I've ever seen a game like it, to be honest with you, Mark. It was 4-0.
Is Arsene Wenger going to have a big problem with how Phil Dowd refereed the second half, Steve?
Well, I think he'll have a big problem with the second penalty that Newcastle were awarded when maybe Rosicky had an arm raised in the back of Mike Williamson. Williamson went over and Phil Dowd gave it. That made it 4-3. But Alan Pardew equally would say that when it was 4-1, Leon Best put the ball in the back of the Arsenal net, and he was being played not just a bit onside, he was being played a couple of yards onside by Thomas Rosicky, and the goal was incorrectly ruled out for offside. So, you know, there's swings and roundabouts on all these things. I think he'll have more of a problem with his team than he will with the referee. Abu Diaby sending off on 49 minutes turned this game, and that, Mark, is Arsenal's 7th red card in all competitions this season. That is simply too many.
I just wonder what those Newcastle fans who were leaving when they went 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 down will be thinking now, having missed that second half comeback. The atmosphere must have been so different in the second half compared to the first.
Well, it was. I mean, there are very few places in the country like this, as you know, when you get an occasion like this, and the noise was absolutely deafening. I think it would have taken a very heartless steward on the gate not to let people back in when the comeback started. I know a few reporters are going to say this today, but I mean, this was an extraordinary occasion, and the goal which got Newcastle United their point, Sheikh Tiote with an equalising goal with 3 minutes to go, it has to be the goal of his life. This is one of those occasions on which people will say for a very long time, I was there. I mean, I've been watching football for 36 years or something. I can't think of any game when a team has come back from 4 down in any division. I've never seen anything like it, Mark. I mean, it was extraordinary stuff. It was absolute privilege to be here.
Steve, thank you very much. I don't think any of us have seen anything like that.
I can't disagree with the words Steve Wilson said. It was incredible from start to finish. There's been 6 games today, this afternoon, 1 at lunchtime. I think of the 7 games, 5 of them have been like cup finals.
We had quite a decent argument earlier on when we were on the red button about the effect of Andy Carroll going would have. Yeah. And you said, well, he hasn't played. And the point was, well, morale. So, actually, let's look at the morale side of coming back from 4 down at home to Arsenal.
Well, Alan Pardew, obviously, at half-time would be saying, you know, not tight enough, not competitive enough, all the things that you'd expect. 0-0 at half-time, go out the second half, what can we do? Get a goal, we might get ourselves back in it with the crowd. And the reaction from his players, I think, tells him everything he needs to know that, OK, they've lost Andy Carroll. They've got 3 players up front with, like, 15 or 16 games between them, experience in the Premier League. And now he's got heart and soul. They really fought well to come back. The Tiote goal, honestly, they deserved something at the end of that game. But the Diaby sending off, that was crucial, and that changed the game.
The big message, I think, of St James's Park now is there is life after Carroll.
Yeah.
Any other day, we'd be talking about Everton-Blackburn.
Fantastic
Blackpool,
game.
ahead of it. 8 goals in that. Everton 2-1 up, 3-2 down, eventually win 5-3.
Well, the Jermaine Beckford goal, I mean, Baines comes inside on his right foot, chips it over, and Beckford runs, and he hits it with his wrong foot, really. It's come from over his left shoulder. He hits it with his left foot, and it's a complete turnaround. Cahill came on as well. He's back from the Asian Cup. And that game at Everton was amazing. You feel for Ian Holloway, because to score 3 goals away from home in the Premier League and not get a point...
And we ought to give a nod to Wigan. Another 4-3, and plenty of entertainment there.
And so one of the best goals you'll see of the day from McCarthy in the box, surrounded by players. It's a juggling act and a great finish.
Thank you very much. We've got Manchester United against Wolves to come. You'll see that on Match of the Day. Chelsea against Liverpool with Fernando Torres tomorrow. We're off to the red button now. You'll get all the post-match reaction on that. We'll have the goals from Burnley against Norwich as well. Alternatively, Six Nations Rugby on BBC One. France against Scotland. We're shattered. Bye-bye.